Yeah, we had a nice little discussion I mean to say the Wednesday class, where we didn't get to read much of the Narad Muni's instructions, but we discussed that beautiful phrase of Prabhupada, and due to which we went into the shloka 1, 4, 17, and 18 in depth. That shloka is it's a wonderful shloka which reveals um, the the reality of the impact of the Kali Yuga if we are not on guard against the negative forces in the form of the material modes and karma and so on, right? So it was real very clear, the effects of Kali Yuga. But again, the Kali Yuga is nothing but our own mind, which contrives or plans against our well-being, really, because it is always attracted to the the short-term gains, not on the long-term gains, because of which we end up exploiting everything in this world, for exploiting everything only for our own sense enjoyment, nothing else. So this is the real danger, or I would rather say it's the biggest fallacy of our uh, approach towards the goal of life. So that shloka is very much connected with this shloka 1, 5, 20, which we are going to read. So far, Narad Muni, in the last three shlokas, he was explaining, he was telling telling Vyasadev to explain on the glorious advantages of devotion. Excuse me. Glorious advantages of devotional service, isn't it? Like even little bit done is so beneficial, and even if somebody leaves it halfway, the benefit is always immense. Excuse me. So and then he says this is the only thing that is to be searched for, uh, whether we go into all the 14 planetary systems by our sacrifice, austerity, and all, wherever we are going, all the way up to the Brahmalok also, the sense enjoyment and the eating, sleeping, mating, different thing will always be available all the time. So that he very specifically says, and then in the 19th verse, that last verse which he said, it's a beautiful verse, that he says that because this devotional service is so enlivening and blissful, offers bliss all the time, people who have tasted it even once will not want to leave it. For that only we saw um, the two different classes of people for connecting from the Bhagavad Gita verse 6.42, where Krishna is answering a question of Arjuna: what will happen to those who are not able to complete perfect their devotional service in this lifetime? Further, Krishna is beautifully saying that you will go to the higher plan. If you are like, there are two kinds of people who leave it in the beginning itself, get attracted to material enjoyment because of their imperfections. There are others who are very much advanced in devotional service, but very advanced, in the very advanced stage, they are for whatever accidental reason they are giving it up. One is they voluntarily they are attracted because helplessly, because of their natural inclination towards the material modes, material enjoyment and all. The others who are very much advanced, due to accidental situation, they didn't expect it, accidentally they have given up. So for those two kinds of people, Prabhupada is giving such a wonderful purport here to differentiate between the two, where in the Bhagavad Gita also we did analyze that point and discuss that Bhagavad Gita talks about those who are in that particular verse. He talks about those who are leaving it half in the middle, in the beginning stage itself. They go all the way to the higher planetary systems, enjoy all the opulences, and then come back down and continue from where they left. So that is the biggest advantage of even those who just little bit of devotional service. Neha Bikramana Shausti Shloka is also there, no, to that 40. So that we discussed. But if someone like Jada Bharat Maharaj or Indradyumna, the King Indradyumna, who left in the highest stage, for them, as Bhagavad Gita also says, because of their purity of devotional service until that point, Krishna will ensure that whatever they have done in the earlier life will be revealed to them and at the right time. And that is why if you see, Jada Bharat Maharaj never lost his remembrance of his previous lives. He remembered his king life also. He remembered his dear life also. And he was staunch, he was unflinchingly fixed in his devotional service in his last birth as Jada Bharat Maharaj. Same way, King Indradyumna also, if you see, he became a Gajendra in his next life. But at the time of his death, last moments, he remembered the prayers which is chanted, Jajapa Paramam Japyam, Pragjanmani Anukshikshitam. It is said in Bhagavatam. Jajapa Paramam Japyam. Japa. Japa means chanting. Japa means again chanting. So he chanted that same prayer which he learned in the previous life. Paramam Japyam Pragjanmani. In his previous life, Anushikshita means what he learned in the previous life. That's what Bhagavatam very clearly says, So these are examples of the advanced stage of life who accidentally have given it up. Some of them by Krishna's arrangement, like in terms of Bharat Maharaj case, it is said that the prarabdha karma, there are two kinds of prarabdha karma. One prarabdha karma is done by ourselves, which come and haunt us and affect us when even we are doing devotional service. But there is another kind of prarabdha karma. In other words, it looks like prarabdha karma, but it is given by the Lord himself in order to glorify them even more, or in order to bring out their devotional service even in a better way for everyone's well-being, everyone's inspiration. So that is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also gives, and Prabhupada also says that in the in later part in the 5th canto, whenever we come across that, we will connect that here. So now that 3 shlokas, Vyasadeva had given a synopsis or a hint Narada Muni has given it to Vyasadeva that you please tell on this the importance of the devotional service. That is the thing. And then next 3 shlokas, 20, 21, and 22, he will ask him to explain about 3 more things. Okay. So what we will do, before we get into verse number 20 into depth, we will read these 3 shlokas, because after these 3 shlokas, from 23rd shloka onwards, he will start talking about his previous life. He will talk about his previous life as the son of a maid servant. That's going to be really sweet shlokas there. Probably we will have to get there soon. If we do that Monday, Tuesday, 2 more sessions, then I think we will be able to reach there soon. So what we will do, we will read only the shloka and the translation for these 3 shlokas today to begin with. And then we'll get into verse 20 in depth. So we will know in synopsis, what are the other 3 important things that Narad Muni is requesting Vyasadeva to include in the in his treatise of Bhagavatam. Okay. And before we proceed, I just wanted to say for those who joined a little late, with a couple of holidays coming in, we were just thinking that we will have 2 more sessions on Monday and Tuesday. In that case, it will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days continuous, but I don't know how devotees are placed. But in any case, I think with the Kartik month coming, and we are not going to have too many Wednesday sessions in the month of Kartik. Maybe it's a good idea that Shiva Prabhu also brought out. Is it Prabhu, Shiva Prabhu? I was just thinking that some of them may not have holidays on both days, So can we do it in our regular 7:30 timing? Is that okay? Evening 7:30 will be comfortable. for everyone, 7:30 to 8:30?
I'm okay, Prabhuji, but
because I
can
was
put a
thinking
poll.
that somebody may want to go to the temple also. That's right. But during the daytime only, I think there will be more celebrations. I'm not sure about it. And moreover, we have devotees joining in from Dubai, Sharjah, and for them it will be working day, I think. Sriniketan Prabhu and Vaikuntha Prabhu, for you and Monday, Tuesday is working, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Monday, Tuesday is working, Prabhuji.
So let's have a 7:30 only, so that 7:30 to 8:30 we can discuss. Anyway, let's go further into this 20th sloka, 21st sloka, and 22nd sloka. Someone can recite the verse and we do the translation. Okay. Who would like to recite the sloka?
Can I recite, Prabhuji?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Idam hi vishwam bhagavani vetaro yato jagatsthanir nirodha sambhava tadhi swayam veda bhavams tathapite pradesh matram bhavata pradarshitam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Can read the translation also.
Translation. Translation. The Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is Himself this cosmos, and still He is aloof from it. From Him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated, and in Him it rests, and unto Him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have given only a synopsis.
So this is a very, very important. So this in more depth later as we finish this local. But this is another important point that Narad Muni wants Vyasadeva to impress upon the students of Bhagavatam. He wants him to write in Bhagavatam. Because unless we see Krishna present in every nook and corner of this manifested world, it's not only in the moving or living beings, even in insentient beings, non-living beings also, or objects or whatever. There also, when we start seeing the Lord, that is when our devotional service will be really mature. It will reach the
Prabhu, we can't hear you.
Not yet, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji.
Oh. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now,
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
yeah, now it's
we can
okay.
hear it.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Suddenly the mic started, the phone stopped working. So what I was telling, I don't know how where it stopped. So I just telling the importance of this sloka is that this the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is Himself this cosmos. There is a difference between the Supreme Lord is in the material world and the Supreme Lord is Himself the material world. You see the difference? The Supreme Lord is in His name and the Supreme Lord is His name. Prabhupada corrected that, remember? When somebody told Prabhupada Krishna is in His name, he said, no, Prabhupada said Krishna is His name, right? So this particular point is a very beautiful point which Bhagavatam expounds very clearly, very nicely, because there are some 10 shlokas in the 11th canto, 2nd chapter, where it talks about the Uttama Bhagavata, Uttama Adhikari Bhaktas, right? The three different categories of people, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama Adhikari. There are 10 shlokas that talks about the Uttama Adhikari Bhaktas. And in that you will see that this particular point is very, very clearly clearly delineated there. Like that, the Uttama Bhaktas will see Krishna in every nook and corner of this world. Only then they can be called Uttama Bhaktas. So the aim of Bhagavatam is to take us to the highest stage, not like halfway through or 25-30% through. The path laid is all the way back to Golokundavan. Whether we are taking it all the way till there is up to us to, whatever is our intensity and sincerity in following this path, right? So this verse is highlighting that point very clearly, that the Supreme Lord Supreme Personality of God is himself this cosmos. We have to, the Vyasadeva is requested by Narada Muni to explain on this point very clearly, because only if we identify the Lord in every nook and corner of this world can we do our devotional service in the right mood. So let's read the next one. We'll come back to this little bit more again. We'll get to the next verse. The next point, what Narada Muni wants Vyasadeva to highlight in Bhagavatam. Next one is 21. Anyone would like to recite this shloka?
I will try, Prabhu.
Please, Prabhu.
Tvamatmanatmanam avehi amogadrak parasya pumshah paramatmanah kalam ajam prajatam jagata shivayatan mahanubhava yudaya diganyatam.
Abhyudayo adiganyatam. Abhyudayo adiganyatam. Yes.
Abhyudayo adiganyatam.
Yes.
Translation. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the Supreme Personality of Godhead because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please, therefore, describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly.
So here he is revealing the true nature of Vyasadeva. While he is chastising on the other side, he is actually telling you are actually the Supreme Lord's personal incarnation himself, and you have appeared for the well-being of Shivaya, Jagataha Shivayatam. So you have appeared for everybody's well-being. So you have to do this. But in this, the next thing that he wants, what is the next thing that Narada Muni wants Vyasadeva to highlight in Bhagavatam?
Describe the transcendental pastimes?
Yes. Describe it more vividly so that by the various incarnations, the pastimes, etc. of the Lord, so that people will understand, the readers of the general mass will understand the importance of each of the avatars and about the various instructions that he is revealing in each of those incarnations. As Nrsingadev, he teaches us some lessons. As Lord Rama, he teaches some lessons. As Prithu Maharaj, he teaches us some lessons. As Kapila Muni, he teaches us. So many incarnations are there. In each of those incarnations, he is revealing us so many transcendental qualities. One thing is Krishna is revealing his transcendental qualities. Next thing is he's revealing them through transcendental pastimes. And then the next thing is he is revealing us or teaching us important instructions as to how to become Uttama Bhaktas. So all these are revealed in the form of those transcendental incarnations that Krishna is taking, right? And beyond all that, the next thing that he is giving us is that he is giving us unlimited opportunity for service. See, for example, if suppose we didn't have the Krishna avatar and Rama avatar, Nrsimha avatar, etc., would we have service in this world to do? Service to the Lord. Because the Lord appeared as Krishna, there is Janmashtami, then you have say Damodar Vrata is there, Purushottam Vrata is there, then we have Gita, we are able to study Gita. And then we are able to receive such nice instructions from Gita for our own betterment or behavioral transformations to become saintly in our behavior. And then every offering and everything that we do, so many different services that we are given opportunity for. We are going to do deity worship. We can offering so many offerings we can do for the Lord. If these things have never happened, how much service we would have? We may not have we may not be able to do the services in so much abundance, isn't it? If you're chanting the holy names also, if you don't remember or connect with the different pastimes of the Lord, very soon in immature stage, our chanting also will become a bit stale, isn't it? If you don't have the service along with it. If you are in the mature stage, that is a different thing. But in the immature stage, definitely we need some way of connecting with that holy name, that service, in the form of a personal thing. So when he is coming in the form of these various incarnations that he is revealing to us, he is again and again insisting on the personal form of the Lord, his personal form. So whenever there is a personal form only, we will be able to have the connection, the relationship will be there. So there are so many things that are connected with this one important thing of revealing the transcendental activities and pastimes, qualities, instructions, etc. of the Lord through his various incarnations. So that is why this is the next instruction that Narada Muni is telling to Vyasadeva to highlight in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna. Because in all other things, we have other incarnations, but specifically for Krishna, Bhagavatam is the only source where you have his Leelas, pastimes are explained in abundant details. And so many commentaries have all been written subsequently on top of the Bhagavatam, isn't it? We have Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Ujjvala Nilamani, so many different pastimes are books have been written, commentaries have been written on Bhagavatam. So specifically how Ramayana is glorifying Lord Ram, Bhagavatam glorifies, specifically highlights the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. So that is the next thing that he is specifically asking Vyasadeva to do. The next one, we'll read only the verse and translation. Anyone would like to try?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Idam hi pumsastapasah shrutasya va swishtasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayoh avichyutortha kabibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam.
Beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you. So perfect in your citation.
Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry.
So here he is, what is he highlighting? He is telling about the benefit of this hearing and explaining the descriptions of the Lord, isn't it? The greatest people, saintly people, learned circles, who have done so much research on this subject matter, transcendental subject matter, have positively concluded. Means they don't have any difference of opinion. Everybody is saying the same thing. What is that? The ultimate purpose of, yes, Prabhuji?
Nothing, Prabhuji. Culminates in the transcendental description.
Culminates in the, what is that? Culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord. In other words, you may do austerity, you may do charity, you may do so many different things, you may do study of the Shastra, sacrifice, everything. But the effect of all these things is done simply by transcendental description of the Lord. Whatever you are getting from all those things, each of those things with so much endeavor, can be simply be achieved by simply the transcendental description of Lord. That is Krishna Katha, that's all. Guna Anuvarnana. Yadutama Shloka, Guna Anuvarnana. Right? So whether it is description of the Lord or hearing the description of the Lord or distributing the description of the Lord, it is all the same. Whatever effect you are getting by the knowledge, study of the Vedas, like too much scrutinizingly analyzing, studying everything, becoming a Veda Paraga, whatever it may be, at the end of it all, it just culminates in this. Culminates means it comes to this point of achievement that what you are getting out of the transcendental simply by transcendental description or glorification of it. So in other words, he is telling that the effect from the previous sloka, like you describe the glorious qualities, pastimes, etc. of the Lord, but simply by hearing that, simply by describing it even more, people will be able to achieve the same effect as one may do by doing austerity, sacrifice, charity, Vedas, Vedic studies, etc. So that much is the glorification of this thing. Not only that they will be removed from the sufferings, removed from their misery, etc., but the result they are achieving is equal to what one may do by perfection in sacrifice, austerity, study of the Vedas, charity, etc. Tapasya, sutasya, vasishtasya, suktasya, buddhi datayo. Buddhi means intelligence, dattayo means by charity. So all these things. So in these 6 shlokas specifically is giving some hint on what all things you should cover, why you should cover. What we have read so far from 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So before that, he was telling about how should I say, the defects of getting deviated, the defects of people's naturally they're inclined to enjoy. You are also telling the same thing for people to do further, etc. Any questions so far before we go back to verse number 20? Questions, comments? So from 23 onwards, he is going to tell his personal example of the story up to 23 to 31, I think. 31. Yeah, 23 to 31. 9 shlokas. He will tell in short the first part of his story. The second part of his story will be in the 6th chapter. He will divide it into 2 parts, and that too, the second part he will reveal only because Vyasadeva inquisitively asks him again, what did you do? He stops halfway through. It's like part 1 and part 2 of the movies they release these days. No, like that he gives only the first half and he goes back to instruction again. Right now he is telling insists these things, but after verse number 31, he will speak again 5 shlokas in which he will reveal some more important instructions on what Bhagavatam should contain, what he should focus on while delineating the subjects and the. See, it's why many times you see that say same Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada has also written. Same Bhagavad Gita is written by so many people. 700, 800 translations are there. Why Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita has become the most famous, whereas all others, even before or after, they are only giving them money. They are not getting anybody as a student of that particular thing, or are creating a mass movement of their from their Bhagavad Gita, because the motive is different. Motive of every single verse that when Prabhupada was writing, he was writing it for the glorification of Krishna. Whereas others, when they were writing, they were trying to count their the whatever they will get as cash, the money they will get wealth out of it. That is why they may be getting wealth, but they will not get a single follower, single student. Can you see anyone going street to street trying to distribute any other book, any other Bhagavad Gita? They are available in the stores. Maybe some will buy here, some will buy there. You will never see them become a student of that Gita for lifetime, or giving up their vices, the 4 vices, intoxication, meat eating, and all those things. Whereas when you take, when somebody receiving Prabhupada's books, naturally we see that people are sold into the, I mean, they are bought over by the Bhagavad Gita message and by Prabhupada himself, isn't it? We are all sitting here because of just getting those books, reading the books, somewhere hearing here and there. If we do it more systematically, then we will be the proponents of Prabhupada's thing by our own behavior, our own personal example, frankly speaking. That is how ultimately we should all become. But even otherwise also, simply by that touch of the book. Why? Because every single verse, Prabhupada is focusing on these aspects which Narada Muni is telling to Vyasadeva, whether it is Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or any for that matter. It is only for the glorification of Krishna and for everyone's well-being. Everyone's well-being is completely tied up with the glorification of Krishna. Without glorification, there cannot be our well-being. Our well-being is, it cannot be independently achieved devoid of the glorification of the Lord, devoid of following the instructions of the Lord, devoid of our following instructions of the Lord to better our own behavior. And that's where, if you go back to verse number 20, again this thing, the Supreme Lord, this word for word we should read now. Idam hi vishwam bhagavan vetaro. No other shastra reveal this particular point of the connection between Krishna and this material world. We see that Krishna created this material world, right? But we say that he is not there. We say that he is not there. But this particular sloka is very important. Idam hi pumsas tapasas, sorry, idam hi vishwam bhagavan vetaro. If you scroll up a little bit, the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos. It is not, he is in this cosmos. That's why Prabhupada has highlighted this point very clearly. Now let's read the word for word translation and purport to understand this a bit more. Because on the one side we are saying, oh, Krishna created this, but he is not in this world. He is not part of this world. But this verse is saying that he is this cosmos. At the same time, he is aloof from it. This is the inconceivable oneness and difference. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva is revealed in this one particular line itself. So let's read the word for word and the purport also to understand it even more. Anybody want to do the word for word of this verse? We are going back to verse number 20 now. Now in these 3 verses, we have seen 3 different subject matters which he wants to cover, or the aims which Narada Muni is giving. But we'll go back to 20 now.
I'll try, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Word to word meanings. Shloka number 20.
Hmm.
Idam, this, he, all, Vishwam, cosmos, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Iva, almost the same, Itaraha, different form, Yataha, from whom, Jagat, the worlds, Sthan, exists, Nirodh, annihilation, Sambhava, creation, Tatahi, all about, Swayam, personally, Ved, no, Bhavan, your good self, Tatha api, still, Te, unto you, Pradesh matram, a synopsis only, Bhavataha, unto you, Pradarshitam, explained. Translation by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvin, Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality, the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead is himself this cosmos, and still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated. In him it rests, and unto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have given only a synopsis.
So now, before we go to the purport, I would like to request devotees to do a little exercise. Try to find out from Bhagavatam where and all shloka like this comes where it talks about Krishna himself. This world is actually Krishna himself. This created, manifested world is actually non-different from Krishna. There are a few verses which talk like that when there is a philosophical discussion or in the prayers of demigods or others, Gajendra prayers, etc. You will see these things beautifully explained. So we have to collect those slokas which connect with this same point that he is himself this cosmos. He himself is only expanded as this cosmos. That's a very beautiful exercise. If you do that, then we can have a collection of all the similar shlokas for this particular concept. So let's read the purport. Please note down Shiva Prabhu. I think Chanchalpati Prabhu is not here today. Shiva Prabhu, maybe you can. Oh, okay. You are not written. Okay, you can probably share in the group so that devotees can try to look into it. That way, what happens is when you do exercise like this, you're actually doing a high-level passing of the Bhagavatam. You go through various sections of Bhagavatam to find out these things. So you touch upon these different places. So that way, it's a good exercise. Many times like this, we can keep what do you call that as traversing through the Bhagavatam shlokas very nicely. That time you will find something else also. You'll be looking for diamond, you will be getting rubies and pearls also. So anything that is coming on the way, you can pick it up. Okay. So let's read the purport now. Prabhupada will explain this particular point very nicely through the example of a tree. So let's try to understand that.
Purport. For a pure devotee, the conception of Mukunda, Lord Sri Krishna, is both personal and impersonal.
See, this is very interesting.
Prabhupada,
so much he decried this impersonal conception, isn't it? But when it comes to a pure devotee, he doesn't eliminate the impersonal side of Krishna. Impersonal is also Krishna only. You see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all, when he spoke about the whole Vishwam as Krishna, expansion of Krishna, he could see Krishna in all of them. He said he could see everything as Krishna. In other words, this sloka is beautiful, no? Stavara Jangama deke na deke Tara Murti Sarvatra Haya Ishta Deva Nija Spurti. This is Ramananda Rai's discussion with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said Stavara means that which is fixed. Jangama means moving. Stavara is not only the trees and plants, even the rocks, stones, everything is Stavara only. So Stavara Jangama deke. Jangama means moving. So whether it is fixed or moving, they don't see that fixed or moving objects in their vision. Sarvatra, in all of them, they see Ishtadev, means Krishna. Nija Spurti, he is present as all of them. Nija Spurti means he is doing the Spurti, nourishing them in that being present there. So that is the exact definition of a Uttamadhikari devotee. In this thing, there will also be one more exercise that which we can do, is that in the 10th canto, 2nd chapter, verses number 47 to 55, I think, 46 to 55, 8, 9 shlokas. In that specifically, in each of the shlokas, the Uttamadhikari devotees' qualities are delineated. So I was thinking that I will do that exercise myself. I will also request other devotees also to do that. We will have to pick out each of those qualities and list it down. Both the English and the Sanskrit, we should pick it up from each shloka, and then we will know how all these qualities are aligning with that definition of Uttamadhikari devotee, So let's read further, Prabhu.
The impersonal cosmic situation is also Mukunda because it is the emanation of the energy of Mukunda.
So this is very
For
interesting.
example,
Prabhupada is saying that the impersonal picture is also Mukunda only. There is no difference between Mukunda and that. I mean, in the form of the energy, right? But still, Krishna is distinctly, he is separated in his personal form. He is always existing. His expansion is also him only, but still he is aloof from. That is the interesting thing which we cannot be able to conceive easily. Anyway, let's continue.
Prabhuji, just
Yes,
one
Prabhu.
clarification.
Yes,
So, Prabhu, I mean, Prabhupada is trying to see personal aspect of Krishna in impersonal cosmic situation. He's trying to see personal aspect, or he says it is, I mean, the light or the energy of Krishna. So
no, he doesn't differentiate. Means it does not mean that it has to be personal only. What he says is that the impersonal is also Krishna only. In Krishna in his impersonal form. Personal form is different. Impersonal form is different, but both are Krishna. You understand that example? Like for example, if you have to tell, sun is there, sun's rays are there. Sun's rays is energy of Krishna, sun. Whatever effect sun has, sun rays also have, but in a little minute form. That is there, right? So the impersonal thing is originating from Krishna only. It has all its energies, all the energies of Krishna as it is emanation from there. But it is also Mukunda only for devotees. Like if the father is there, son is there. Son may not be same as father if you want to say that way, but then one who can see the qualities of the father and the son, for him it is not a problem. It's okay. It's either way the same for him.
So can we draw a parallel to the Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter here, Prabhuji? Krishna describes as the
Vibhuti Yoga.
Vibhuti Yoga. Yes,
Vibhuti
Prabhu.
Yoga. Yes, that's why those who see Krishna's representation in all these things, they respect them for that particular, how they are able to have Krishna in them in that particular form through their strength or knowledge or beauty or opulence or whatever. But they don't say that you are Krishna. That is where the slight difference comes. Like the impersonal is, because everybody is Narayana. You understand? That is wrong. Everybody is Narayana means there is no difference between the Supreme Lord Narayana and these people Narayana. That is wrong. That's why Prabhupada is going to clarify it further in this purport. We cannot become Narayana. But we can develop certain qualities which will be like those are the qualities of Lord Narayana in our thing. But we cannot be 100%. We can only maximum. At the most, we can develop only say 78% of the Lord's qualities at the most. That is Brahma's level, not for our level, no. But I'm just saying that. So if you don't say that everybody is Krishna means does not mean that the Lord is everywhere Lord Shamsundara only. There is not like that. Whatever they have is Krishna's energy. For that, I don't see any difference between Krishna and his energy. So that way I consider that as right.
Yes,
so that's a subtle difference between the personalists and impersonalists.
Yeah.
Let's continue further. Prabhupada will explain this through this tree example.
For example, a tree is complete unit, whereas the leaves and the branches of the tree are emanated parts and parcels of the tree. The leaves and branches of the tree are also the tree, but the tree itself is neither the leaves nor the branches.
See, this is how
Vedic
nicely Prabhupada has clarified it here. Suppose somebody gives you a mango leaf, he will not call that as a mango tree. But definitely that is part of the tree. But when you look at the whole thing, right, you see the whole tree, it will have its leaves, branches and everything. Correct? But at that time, even if you look at part of the tree with the leaves, what will you say? You will say, hey, it's a mango tree. You will not see the whole tree, but you will see some branches, hey, mango tree is there. The beauty here is, Prabhupada will explain further the example of the human person's hands, legs, body, etc. also, that when you see everything in connection with the Lord, everything will appear like the Lord for you. The moment you differentiate and discriminate from the Lord, then the thing will not be. Just like the hand, as long as, if you see my hand, you say, well, you will ask, Prabhu, who are you seeing? Prabhu, I am seeing your body. But if I cut my hand and show separately to you, Prabhu, what are you seeing? Somebody's hand I am seeing, Prabhu. Isn't it? That will of no use, that will be of no use. So ultimately the secret lies in how you are connecting everything with the Supreme Lord. That is what is the secret of the vision, transcendental vision.
You just said it is somebody's hand, so its significance is when it is connected to the tree. So
exactly,
the branch or the leaves. We said
exactly.
It is a leaf or branch of a tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prabhu, let's continue.
The Vedic version that the whole cosmic creation is nothing but Brahman means that since everything is emanating from the
Sarvam
Supreme
Kalu Idam
Brahman,
Brahman. Prabhupada is revealing this Vedic aphorism. Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahman. Everything in this world is nothing but a manifestation of Brahman. Yes, Prabhuji, sorry.
since everything is emanating from the Supreme Brahman, nothing is apart from him. Similarly, the part and parcel hands and legs are called the body, but the body as a whole unit is neither the hands nor the legs. The Lord is the transcendental form of eternity, cognition, and beauty, and thus the creation of the energy of the Lord appears to be partially eternal, full of knowledge, and beautiful also. The captivated conditioned souls under the influence of the external energy, Maya, are therefore entrapped in the network of the material nature. They accept this as all in all, for they have no information of the Lord, who is the permeable cause, nor have they information that the parts and parcels of the body, being detached from the whole body, are no longer the same hand or legs, as
Prabhu,
when
let us scroll
attached
up.
to the body.
Who is sharing? Who is sharing? Yes, Prabhu, please. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu, can you read that statement again? It's an important statement.
Yeah. Nor have, okay, I'll read from. They accept this as all in all, as they have no information of the Lord, who is the permeable cause, nor have they information that the parts and parcels of the body, being detached from the whole body, are no longer the same hand or legs as when attached to the body. Similarly, a
No
godless
longer the
civilization.
same. Sorry, Prabhu. Are no longer the same hand or leg. This is the thing. When we are disconnected from the original body or this thing, then it is of no use, isn't it? A part of the car mechanism, that instrument, tool, whatever, that some screws or bolts or some engine or whatever, it is useful only as long as it is inside that entire object and working for it, correct? Suppose you take that engine out and keep it separate. What use of it? What use does it have for us? Whereas when it is inside that car and working for in coordination with every other tool, right? Parts of the car, then it works as a car. So nobody says that this is separate like that. They don't see. They see it as a whole part as the car, and that is one part of it. Like for that particular part to work in coordination with all other parts of the car. Same way, we are part of this universe. If we work in coordination with everyone else's well-being and everyone else's, like say, their, like say, well-being, their desires, how to align that in line with Krishna. When we work in cooperation with Krishna's desire and trying to see everybody in that way, then our life is also will also become meaningful. One is for that particular part to consider that it is part of the whole. Okay. Another is for other parts to think that this part is part of the whole. You understood the important point here? Like say, suppose I am here as a part of the whole, I should first of all learn to think that I am part of this whole universe. I cannot work independent of this universe. Whatever I'm doing has so many impacts on so many people. Suppose I am buying a 1 kilo of rice from the shop. It is connected with a farmer who is cultivating that one kilo of 1 kg of rice. And for that kirana shop owner who is selling, who is living his life for that. That is his like what you call earning mode. That's the way he can. His roti kapda makan depends on that. Or I am earning and I am paying tax to the government. Then the tax is utilized for some public welfare things. So there is a connect. Everything is connected, isn't it? So when I work with that consciousness that I am connected to this whole, say, this entire universal function, then my working will be all the more positive, very inspiring for me. If I work thinking that this is of no use to anybody, whatever I am doing, nobody cares, nobody is going to be benefited by it, then very soon I will lose my enthusiasm, isn't it? Suppose you are asked to give some Lakshmi to come on, you give this money because you are earning so much, just give this. We won't tell you what we are going to do with it. Then you will not be able to give it. Somebody is taking away. But then when you know that, oh, okay, I am giving it for some temple construction, I am giving this for some food relief program, I am giving this for some, say, eye donation camp, blood donation camp, like that. When you connect yourself with that, with the bigger exercise or project, then you do it more positively, isn't it? You get what I'm saying? If that Lakshmi is gone without a use, then we'll become despondent. I'm earning all this money, but where is it going and to whom it is going, what it is used, we don't know really, isn't it? I just put it money and then next day it is just going off. They say, no, your money is not here anymore. Then we will be really desperate and despondent. Whereas when somebody says that, no, we are using it for these things, your money has been utilized for each one of these items, then we will be all the more pleased because we are connected with that whole process, right? So first of all, the main thing is for the parts and parcels to spiritually and consciously be connected to that entire the whole basically, right? And that whole has to be like, of course, if you connect to some corrupted thing, then you will become again more depressed. That is another thing. But then if you are seeing the transcendental whole, you are connected to the kind of transcendental whole, so that whatever you are contributing is being utilized for everyone's well-being, then you become all the more inspired and enthused to give more and more of it, isn't it? Like we are giving for some temple project, we are giving for some Goshala project, we are giving so many different things we are giving. By giving that, when somebody is telling that, hey, Prabhu, you gave this last time and it was so beneficial, now we could get 4 more cows to in our Goshala, then we feel very happy, isn't it? Because you are connected to a noble to a noble service. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, you see everybody else also somehow or other, first of all, we should see that everybody is connected. They may not think that they are connected, but we should learn the art of seeing everything in connection with Krishna. Only then we can inspire them and instill that consciousness in them to be connected to Krishna. You understood the point? Suppose I am going and telling that you are part and parcel of Krishna. First of all, I should learn to see that person as part and parcel of Krishna. Only then when I tell him, he will be able to accept that point. If I tell that, suppose I go there, I have to preach to him so that my my objective of today preaching to one person, or maybe I will get some Lakshmi from that person, or maybe I will get that person to get a life membership, or some book, some books he buys, or he is contributing from some project. Then I forget about him after that the whole event. That means for that moment only I was thinking that he is of use to me. Then I forget the reality of seeing someone as being connected to Krishna means that we are always conscious of that person as part and parcel of Krishna. Because every time I remember Krishna, I should remember the part and parcel also. I mean to say that this person is connected with you. So what it further means is that suppose tomorrow there is some discord between that person and me, some misunderstanding, then also I should see that person as part and parcel of Krishna. In other words, he is not doing it. Krishna is doing through him. He is only an agent. So Krishna is revealing something important for me through that person. All these are supposed to be an outcome of seeing somebody as part and parcel of Krishna. I cannot say that I am seeing everybody as part and parcel of Krishna, but that person, he scolded me, he doesn't understand me. That doesn't work. He doesn't understand me properly. He doesn't know my glories. So that means what we are saying is that I will not see that person as part and parcel of Krishna, but that person has to see me as part and parcel of Krishna. Right. So this is all subtly connected with that consciousness, you see. So
Yes, Prabhuji, that's why it's practically so, means it's impossible or it's so difficult to, because whenever somebody is telling anything negative about us, so then we forget, okay, he's also part and parcel Krishna.
yeah,
It's
yeah. So that is
so
the
difficult.
reason the book. See, this point of Supreme Personality of Godhead is himself, this cosmos. It may look like a theoretical statement, like, oh, it's okay. How am I going to be impacted by that statement? But this point of seeing everybody as part and parcel of Krishna means that nobody in this world can act without Krishna's sanction. They all are acting as per Krishna's sanction only. Krishna is sanctioning them to act in a certain way, adversely or favorably, whatever it may be. They're all acting as per Krishna's direction. So we should, when we see Krishna's hand in everything, I mean to say Krishna himself is this cosmos, we should not carry any grudge for people acting unfavorably or adversely towards us. So that is an outcome of this quality, basically, or how should I say, this particular point of seeing Krishna, the Supreme Lord is himself this cosmos, should lead us to think everybody as his part and parcel. That is the important thing.
One question here.
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
when we say that, so we should see everyone as like part and parcel of Krishna. So if it is general thing like donation, if he doesn't give and I say I will not give next time, that is okay. But if something is impacting our Krishna consciousness, so how we need to take that?
Actually, nothing impacts our Krishna consciousness unless and until our mind is unsteady, brother.
Okay.
If our mind is pure, nothing can impact our consciousness.
Okay.
Right? There is no one who has suffered even more than Prabhupada. Prabhupada did not get a single help from anybody. Like we were just discussing this in our Prabhupada Lila Smaranam session, how even though none of his god brothers helped, when he got the Lakshmi, he helped each one of them get a good place and some good temple mutt and all that. He kept helping them. So Prabhupada never saw anybody in that begrudging mood that you didn't help me that time, now you are coming for this, nothing. Even when nobody helped, he was fixed in his consciousness of fulfilling the order of a spiritual master. So he saw all these little hurdles as opportunity for him to become even more determined in his goal. You got it? So there is
Yes,
no grudge. He did not carry any grudge or any disappointment or all those, none of those things. So if somebody appears to be like detrimental to our consciousness, whatever, if we go deep into our heart, Prabhu, it is revealing some quality in us only. It is actually trying to fix some quality, some negative quality in us only. But Krishna has his own unique way, inconceivable way of putting, like Krishna put Bhishmadev against Arjuna, Dronacharya against Arjuna. Like that, some people whom we are very hopeful of, that our, say, dearest friends, etc., whatever it may be, then Krishna will pit them against us to reveal some quality in us, that how much you are surrendered to me. Just to test that. Time and again, he will do that. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So that's why when we honestly look into this, Prabhu, that's why Bhagavatam in this chapter itself, in the beginning, Narada Muni put it very clearly that one who is thoroughly honest only will appreciate and take to this path. So it's very, very important to be thoroughly honest in our approach. If something doesn't work or somebody is not favorable with us, just take a step back and see where did I go wrong. And end of it, even if nothing is revealed to us, none of our qualities is revealed to, maybe we are not yet pure to achieve that, at least we should stop at this point with this consciousness that this so-and-so person is not the cause of my trouble. That verse is there, no? Nayam janome sukha dukkha hetu. Prabhu, can you take out 11:23:41? Just take in another window, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
You can just say Vedabase /in that, put that 11/23/41 in the URL itself. And you'll get it directly. No, 23:42, I think that. Is it 23?
42, Prabhu.
Yes, 42, sorry. Yeah, Nayam janome sukha dukkha hetu na devatatma graha karma kala manah param karanama mananti samsara chakra parivartayedyat. This is the most revealing shloka in the entire Bhagavatam. You see the translation? Maybe Kripasindhu Prabhu, you only can read it.
The Brahmana said, "These people are not the causes of my happiness and distress. Neither are the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work or time. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life."
So it says mana param karanama mananti. You know, that's the only cause. When no one can disturb the consciousness of a person whose mind is fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna always, and one whose mind is not fixed, for him everybody can disturb. Any of these things can disturb.
Prabhu, this Divya is Avanti Brahman, right?
Yeah, this is Avanti Brahman's prayer. And frankly speaking, he's the best example of who was troubled by everybody around him, including his own relatives, friends, families, onlookers, general mass, everybody was against him. And at that point, he is speaking this sloka. So amazing he is. So beautiful question, Prabhu. Kranti Prabhu, thank you. So let's go further in our purport. Yes. Anyone else wants to read?
Shall I, Prabhu?
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Is it according to Vedic version we should start? Is it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Similarly, a godless civilization. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you complete, Prabhu. So Vaikunthana, Prabhu, please finish that. I thought the paragraph was over.
Yeah, a little is left. Okay, I'll continue.
Hmm.
So similarly, a godless civilization detached from the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just like a detached hand or leg. Such parts and parcels may appear like hands and legs, but they have no efficiency. The devotee of the Lord, Srila Vyasadeva, knows this very well. He is further advised by Srila Narada to expand the idea so that the entrapped conditioned souls may take lessons from him to understand the Supreme Lord as the primeval cause.
See, the two things which you mentioned, no, one is we ourselves should be connected to Krishna and see Krishna in every being. Then we should make others to become conscious of that thought that, I am connected to Krishna. So these two things, Narada Muni is advising Vyasadeva, and that's what he would also do. And this whole Bhagavatam is about the linking process, explaining the linking process of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga in Manasi. You will see this thing beautifully delineated in the 7th chapter. First, he himself connects with Bhakti, connects with the Krishna in the form of Bhakti. Then when he connects with Krishna in the form of Bhakti, then he could see that everybody in this world is suffering. And then he wrote Bhagavatam for their benefit, for their well-being. You understand? Without ourselves, first of all, connecting to Krishna, it is not possible to make others connect to Krishna or experience or being aware of their connection with Krishna. So that is the secret here. So that's why he's telling that he expand this idea so that the others may also take lessons. Thank you, Prabhu. Subhashini Mataji, right? You wanted to read, right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
you can read from the next part. Prabhu, you can scroll up a bit.
From, from according to Vedic version.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
According to
Yes,
the
Mataji.
Vedic version, the Lord is naturally fully powerful, and thus his supreme energies are always perfect and identical with him. Both the spiritual and the material skies and the paraphernalia are emanations of the eternal and external energies of the Lord. External energy is comparatively inferior, whereas the internal potency is superior. The superior energy is living force, and therefore she is completely identical. But the external energy, being inert, is partially identical. But both the energies are neither equal to nor greater than the Lord, who is the generator of all energies. Such energies are always under his control, exactly as electrical energy, however powerful it may be, is always under the control of the engineer.
So Prabhupada is giving the next example of this electrical engineer. He is fond of giving this example also. Okay, so let's read further. Prabhupada gives more examples. Mataji, you can
The
read
human
further.
being, okay, the human being and all other living beings are products of his eternal energies. Thus, the living being is also identical with the Lord, but he is never equal or superior to the personality of Godhead. The Lord and living beings are all individual persons. With the help of the material energies, the living beings are also creating something, but none of their creations are equal or superior to the creations of the Lord. The human being may create a playful Sputnik and may throw it into outer space, but that does not mean that he can create a planet like the Earth or Moon and float it in the air as the Lord does. Men with a poor fund of knowledge claim to be equal to the Lord. They are never equal to the Lord. This is never to be. The human being, after attaining complete perfection, may achieve a large percentage of the qualities of the Lord, say up to 78%. But it is never possible to surpass the Lord or to become equal with him. In a diseased condition only, the foolish being claims to be one with the Lord and thus become misled by the illusory energy. The misguided living beings therefore must accept the supremacy of the Lord and agree to render loving service to him. For this they may have been created. Without this, there cannot be any peace or tranquility in the world. Srila Vyasadeva is advised by Sri Narada to expand this idea in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita also the same idea is explained. Surrender fully unto the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the only business of the perfect human being.
Yeah. So which verse is that in Bhagavad Gita?
Sarvadharma Paritejam.
Sarvadharma.
Correct. Sarvadharman Parityaja. Mamekam Sharanam. That is what Prabhupada is telling here. That is the ultimate conclusion. So, what is the thing that one place Prabhupada is saying he himself is cosmos, another place is saying this is not equal or greater. No, nobody can become equal or greater. It's like this. Ocean water is there. You can probably take a cup of that same ocean water. Both will taste the same salty. Both are ocean water only, correct? Quantity may be less, but it is still this ocean water only. So Krishna may expand himself in so many different ways. It is him only, but he's in a different form. So we don't try to equate or say that both are one. There is our material mentality is that if one thing is identical to the other thing, then both are one. No, it's not like that. Krishna can expand into so many different forms, different levels of his thing, but still he can, and still he will remain aloof from it. He will say he will be untouched by this material thing. That is the beauty of Krishna. For us, anything that we create, we identify with it, isn't it? We become attached to it. In other words, if that is gone, then we feel that a part of us is gone. Suppose I build a big house or I buy a car and I identify myself with that car. It's my car, we say. But then when that car meets with an accident or something happens, some theft happens or whatever, then I feel some part of me is gone. Why? Because my energies are limited. Whereas Krishna, something is gone means again he can produce more. For him, there is nothing, there is no limit to his energy. Right? So that's why he doesn't identify himself with it. That's why he stays aloof from it. He stays away from it. If anything happens to that, it doesn't affect him. Whereas for us, it affects whenever we are in the material modes. So that is the difference between Krishna and us. And when we develop that transcendental consciousness, we will also not be affected. You will say, oh, that's okay. Krishna's, it is Krishna's. Krishna decided to take it away. It's okay. You see the difference? It's ultimately, it's again the consciousness. Any comments, questions? Subhashni Mataji, you were about to say something?
No Prabhu, no Prabhu.
Okay.
No Prabhu.
Anybody question, comments, reflections? It's a very beautiful verse. It is actually. It reveals the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavatam in just a few words, really. And only if we, this is again as Vyasadeva is advised by Narada to expand this idea in the Bhagavatam. So throughout the Bhagavatam, like the thread to be woven into cloth, this thought is again and again, it comes in various ways. You will see wherever Prahlad Maharaj is speaking, he will reveal this point in his words. That's why I told you that we can do this exercise of seeing Krishna in everything, and nothing is different from Krishna apart from Krishna. That please try that thing through prayers. You can see, then you see through the philosophical discussions between Kapil Muni and Devahuti, Prithu Maharaj and Sanat Kumaras. Then where else? The Hansa and the Sanat Kumaras later in the 11th canto it will come. Then of course Brahma's prayers, Narada's, Prahlad Maharaj prayers, Gajendra prayers, all these prayers you will see. So it's there in many of these discussions. It will come. Uddhav Gita also you will see. So let's try to find those slokas. It's really nice. Any questions, comments before we close for the day? We will do 21 and 22. Say on Monday and Tuesday. We will do as we discussed. Prabhu's Mataji's. We will connect again on Monday, Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. So that whoever is going to work, they can be back and join also. Okay. I'll be very happy to have this conversation. And Tuesday is Ramachandra Vijayotsava, right? Monday is Saraswati Puja, and then Tuesday is Dasara, right? For some,
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
holiday is on Monday, and for some it is on Tuesday. So for us it is Monday, but everywhere else it is Tuesday, I think. Doesn't
Yes,
matter. We'll do the evening class, it'll be easier. Okay. So hopefully there is no questions or comments, I think. We'll meditate on this and we'll try to collect shlokas during this long weekend. It can be an exercise which will really enliven us, to see. Thank you, Prabhus, Matajis. So nice to have your association today. Have a long, blissful weekend. Happy Vijayadashmi, happy Ramchandra Vijayotsava. And then in 1 week's time, we are going to have Damodar month also coming, all blissful days ahead. So hopefully we'll, be more intense in our prayers to Krishna, prayers to Guru and Krishna, and also in our service to, in our devotional service, basically. Thank you. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Natapati Vaishnava ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.